What is up, everybody? Professor I, here back with another video. Today we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into the world of web application security, a world fraught with danger at every turn, where one wrong step can expose you to a world of hurt. We're talking about the most critical web application attack vectors that keep security professionals like myself up at night, the stuff nightmares are made of. But don't worry, I'm here to guide you, to be your Virgil through this inferno of vulnerabilities. We'll explore these attack methods, dissect them, understand what makes them tick, and most importantly, learn how to mitigate them. So, buckle up, grab your favorite energy drink, and let's get started. Alright, let's talk about SQL injection, or SQLI for short. This sneaky little bugger is all about exploiting vulnerabilities in your database queries. Think of it like this. Imagine being able to whisper just the right commands into a database's ear, bypassing all security and getting it to spill all its secrets. That's SQLI for you. But fear not, because we've got weapons in our arsenal to combat this menace. Prepared statements and input sanitization, my friends. It's like putting a firewall around your database, keeping those malicious queries at bay. Next up, we have cross-site scripting, or XSS. This nasty piece of work is all about injecting malicious scripts into unsuspecting websites. It's like planting a landmine on a web page, just waiting for an unsuspecting user to step on it. But fear not, we've got the antidote to this poison. Encoding user outputs and using Content Security Policy, CSP, headers. Think of it like vaccinating your website against these harmful scripts, keeping your users safe and sound. Now we're getting into the really tricky stuff. Cross-site request forgery, or CSRF. This attack is all about deception, tricking users into performing actions they never intended to, like transferring funds or changing their passwords. It's like a con artist using your own identity to pull off a heist. Our shield against this cunning foe is the anti-CSRF token. Imagine it as a unique handshake, a secret code between you and the server, ensuring that every request is legitimate. Chapter 4. Broken Object Level. Authorization, the API Gateway Nightmare. Let's move on to Broken Object Level Authorization. This one's a bit of a mouthful, but essentially, it's about exploiting vulnerabilities in how your application controls access to data through APIs. It's like leaving the keys to your castle hanging out in the open. Anyone can just waltz in and take what they want. To protect ourselves, we need to build Fort Knox around our APIs. Robust authentication and authorization checks are key. Think multi-factor authentication, granular access control, the whole 9 yards. We're talking about building a system so secure, even a fly couldn't get in without permission. Chapter 5. Broken Authentication, the Token Terror. Next, we have Broken Authentication. This vulnerability rears its ugly head when token-based authentication is implemented poorly. Imagine losing your house keys. Only these keys unlock every door in the city. That's the kind of chaos we're talking about. But we're not going down without a fight. Securing API keys is paramount, and HTTPS should be our weapon of choice. Think of it like encrypting those keys, making them impossible to decipher without the right code. Chapter 6. Excessive Data Exposure, the Data Leak Disaster. Now let's talk about excessive data exposure. This one's pretty self-explanatory. It's all about APIs revealing more information than they should. It's like leaving your diary open in a public park. Anyone can read your deepest secrets. Our defense? The principle of least privilege. Only give access to the data that's absolutely necessary, and keep everything else locked down tight. It's like having a vault within a vault, protecting your most valuable assets with layers upon layers of security. Chapter 7. Injection Flaws, the Code Red Alert. Finally, we come to injection flaws. These vulnerabilities occur when attackers are able to inject malicious code into your application, essentially hijacking it from the inside out. It's like a virus infecting your computer, corrupting everything it touches. Our last line of defense, server-side input validation and avoiding direct execution of user-provided data. Think of it like having a bouncer at the door of your application, checking IDs and refusing entry to anyone who looks suspicious. Stay safe in the cyber Wild West. That was a wild ride, wasn't it? We've covered a lot of ground today, explored the darkest corners of web application security, and learned how to fortify our defenses against even the most persistent attackers. Remember, the internet is a constantly evolving battlefield, and staying ahead of the curve is crucial. I hope you found this deep dive into web application attack vectors helpful and informative. Now go forth and spread the knowledge. Share this video with your fellow developers, your IT team, your grandma. Everyone needs to be aware of these threats. And don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel for more cybersecurity goodness, and stay tuned for more videos on how to stay safe in the Wild West of the internet.